I make all of my schedules for free in Google Slides. Is it kind of crazy? Yes. Are there alternative programs? Yes. A lot of people like using Canva, but I personally don't agree with their political alignments and will not use them. So when I started as a VTuber, I decided to figure out graphic design in Google Slides. You can also do this entirely in a free art software like GIMP, but I mostly only use it for adding filters to images. Disclaimer, if you're looking for something very specific to your model design, this tutorial is unfortunately not for you. I'd recommend looking around Twitter and VGen for artists that can do that for you. You can also utilize the many free or low-cost assets out there. For free or low-cost schedules, Orihime and Clover Inari have a good selection of different schedules and other graphics. There are also accounts that document free assets like free VTuber assets on Twitter, so look around to see what you want to use. If you are using assets made by someone else, please always remember to credit them. This could be in your social media postings, Twitch about, and/or video descriptions. Also consider leaving them a tip if you can afford to. If you want something simple but slightly more tailored to your model, let's get into it. From a new Google Slides file, we're going to start by changing the pixel density by going to File, Page Setup, change that to Custom, and then change that to 1920 by 1080 pixels. This is the same aspect ratio as the original file, but it won't look as blurry when posting on social media or used as an offline image on Twitch. I already have schedules made in Google Slides, but I want to redesign them, so I'm not starting completely from scratch. To make the background, I color picked a color for my model, found shapes that match my VTuber branding and design. As I'm Plus Lily, I chose plus signs, and I changed the shape opacity, rotation, and then exported that as a PNG. If you can find shapes that match your VTuber design, by all means go ahead and use them. If not, you can take the shapes, make them a bit bigger, and use those in the background. For the schedule art, it's very similar to what we're doing when we create the schedule. So I take the art, which could be model art from commissions or fan art, and then, if applicable, apply a crop mask to it. Then I find shapes and play around with the colors and outlines, opacity, and layers. The goal is to make it look somewhat cohesive. I like having my art tag and credit to the artist who made the art on the schedule, so I took recolored sub badges to use as icons. The main contents you want on your schedule are the date and times that you'll be streaming, as well as the stream topic. Having an image related to each stream topic could be helpful for viewers, but this time around I will not be adding them. To make feature editing and alignment easier, every stream content slot gets its own shape to house it. You may not have a use case for a graphic with 2 stream slots in one day, but it is nice to have just in case. For the 2 slot days, we're going to want to find a shape to cover that intersection between the 2 content slots, unless you want to keep it, which is perfectly fine. I personally use a not equal sign since it matches my design, but you can also use shapes like a lightning bolt, a heart, parallelogram, whatever you think works. And then add and align text boxes for your stream topics. It is up to you whether you'd like to have the day of the week on your schedules as well. I personally like it, but it isn't necessary if you already have the days and time zones that you'll be streaming. Next are the stream times. In my old schedule, I had them listed in a text box on the side, which is totally fine. This time, I'm going to be putting them in a shape, and I'm going to be limiting it to one time zone because of space constraints. While working on these kinds of graphics, I do recommend that you test that it works for some of your stream content. It's easier to fix weird overflows now, rather than later, to keep the format consistent. This also gives you time to play around with the font weights and sizes to see what works specifically for you. There is a hierarchy of visual interest from big to small and bold to light, so you can draw viewer attention to where you want it to by having stuff in larger font and/or bold text. For single stream slot days, we can build off what we just made. We want to keep the design consistent while also having each slot be a little bit more distinct from the others, so I recommend just making small changes to shapes and colors. Now we're on to probably the most tedious part of this, is aligning and centering everything. I work on a different slide so no other shapes interfere with the alignment, but it is still very tedious. It's about making small adjustments and hoping it looks okay. We're not going for perfect, just good enough is fine. From there, we can duplicate the slide to make slightly different templates. I make changes based on my own expectations for stream times. I don't stream every day, and I don't usually stream twice a day, but I'm trying it out for a bit, so I'm just playing around with the days that I do that, and then how many days I'm streaming per week. The goal here is to hopefully make enough templates to not have to work on aligning things again, or at least for a while. Another aspect ratio I've seen people use for their schedules is 4:3, so we're going to try to do that as well. It's basically the same process that we just did, except the pixel density is now going to be 1400 by 1050 pixels. This makes the page height and width similar enough to the 16:9 schedule that we can just copy and paste stuff from there over here. We're going to be using the same background image and just cropping it to size. Setting the original as background image would squish it. It is more efficient to crop it, then export as PNG, and then set as the background image, but I didn't do that. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. Cropping means it'll be easier to add it at the end so that we don't accidentally select it and move it around or change it. Now we're just gonna copy and paste part of the schedule from one of the 16:9 templates that we made. Move them around, see which I think looks good. Luckily, we don't have to worry too much about alignment because we've already dealt with that. For the schedule art, we're just playing around with different shapes again. You don't have to use a rectangle. I used a rectangle. There are a lot of shapes you can choose from that probably fit your design more. And then add outline decorations to highlight the art. After taking the clips, I did go back in and make slight changes, so here's what they look like now. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. I know that sounds cringe. I'll be making a couple more videos similar to this for other stream and video assets. I'm also planning on doing some mix-it-up chatbot tutorials in the future if that interests you. So yeah, thank you for watching.